On the table, you and I are going back in time with Lego Classic, set number 1102190 years of play. Or is that 9 brick years of play? 9 brick, I'm not sure how to read that. So I have a challenge for you. There are 15 mini builds of classic Lego themed sets in here. Squirrel Stampede has 2.5 of these sets. Which 2.5 sets do you think I have before we start going through these? See if you can guess correctly which of these 15 sets that we have built, or I have built in the past, or I somehow have on a shelf somewhere. You gotta guess. There's 2 that I officially have, and one of the sets is kind of a half situation. So pick 2.5 sets that you think that I've constructed over the years.
Squirrel Stampede!
Inside the box we have build instructions for the first 8 sets of the first 90 brick years. Funny, they didn't place a little date on the spaceship there. And then another instruction booklet for the second 90 brick years. Bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, 5, 6. Now here's where it goes off the brick. We have a bag of miscellaneous yellow and orange and brown pieces, a bag of aqua blue, a bag of red, purpley, pink. Here's one of my favorites, all the gray tones and blacks, and finally some white and sandstone bricks. So a little bit of mix of Creator, a little bit of mix of build 15 Lego Classic miniature models. So let's see if we can find bag 1 here and build our duck. So it's the classic Lego wooden duck pole somewhere in here. Look, this looks like a smashed Mixel with this eye right there. Which begs the question, the Mixels should have been included in this series totally. Oh well, maybe in 180 years they'll get in there. So let's build the duck here. We're gonna start with this nice little heavy base beam, add a few bricks on top. Does it look like a duck yet?
No.
I think I've already messed up my duck.
Oh no!
Not this beam. This one. Now I'm back on the right quack. A little bit larger than I thought it would be. I guess this is where these crazy eyes are gonna go. It's gonna go on our duck pole. And there we go, our Lego duck pole. Our first Lego set introduced in the year 1932. I think I was still playing stickball in the streets at that time. Or was that when I was ballooning around the world in 80 days? I can't remember, but the Lego duck pole is our first build today. Very cute. And it begs the question, are all these bags extra pieces? Didn't really expect that. I think everything is going to be built in the numbered bags here. So I feel like I have a whole bunch of extra pieces to look forward to. Very nice. So let's roll over our duck pole over here. It's on little train wheels. I like that. I wonder if I can get it on a track and drive it around. So now we go to the year 1961 with the first Lego architecture builds. The first little city sets, little environments of homes and cars. We'll start here. I think we're building a bus right now. I like how they're using these for wheels. Pretty small little van. And our house. Oh, we actually have a base plate for our house. It's in white, so it might be a little bit tricky to see on my table. Luckily, a big red window will brighten up this build right off the bat. And placing in our little red roof with our little tiny chimney, we have constructed our next little build, our little city architecture build of 1961. That is really cute. It would be cool if Lego did a re-release of this theme and style. If they have not already, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything they do. This little blue car almost feels like the front engine of a train. Really fun little build though. Look at this duck. It's towering. Look out for the duck. Okay, what will be our next build? I think it's a train. One of the first Lego trains, so let's give it a go here. I think this is pretty much all the pieces of the train here in bag 1. Our little boiler up top. And our engineer's house. Actual rail wheels this time. But for surely a narrow gauge will not drive on regular track. And there is our passenger car, mail truck, I don't know, coal hopper. It's pretty basic, and we'll link our trains together. There was not a third car, just one car with this one. Interesting, the back of the box has these at almost a white, but that may just be the weird cardstock tone of the paper. Have an extra brick. I'm going to increase the size of my stack up front. I think it'll look cooler. But there is our train recreation from 1966, looking good. Little cute little train there with a link on the back. Pretty interesting build. The 3 of these make up the first bag. And if you guessed, do I own any of these first 3 sets? You will be wrong. I do not have one of these sets. We have something kind of close to this one, but I can't find it. Anyhow, now we can roll on over to bag 2. I think we're moving on to the year 1978 in bag 2. 1978, that feels like a year that's a little more accustomed to Squirrel Stampede. 1978. And we are going to build one of the most iconic Lego sets ever created. The original castle, the yellow castle. That's why all this beautiful yellow brick is included with this build. Great piece choices with this set so far. There's a little bit of everything. And we'll start with the base plate. This tiny micro kingdom will be built. It's too bad they could not include like a minifigure of a knight. Feels like we're pretty fortified already. Got the back wall, or is that the front wall? Adding some more wall pieces in here. This yellow is so bright and beautiful. I love that color. And a drawbridge goes downeth. It's a little bit roundeth. Alright, looking more like a castle or a crazy guy with his tongue sticking out. Nice use of, oh boy, what's the word? I'm thinking the word is stanchions.
What?
Is that the castle word?
No.
I'm probably way off. Stanchions. Stanchion, an upright bar poster frame forming support or barrier. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for the thing on castles with the little thingy teeth. Crenellations, that's a word I've never thought of using, are one of the most recognizable elements of a medieval castle. These upright projections resemble teeth bared at invaders to prevent their attempted entries and at allies to show the owner's strength. I guess crenels for short. That's certainly not what I was thinking of. Okay, castle lesson is now over. We have constructed our old school miniature castle. Pretty cool, took up a ton of pieces. Probably the most pieces of the build so far, or maybe just the largest pieces. What a cute, adorable little recreation. Must be fun to be the guy at the desk where it's like, take a classic set and build it out of 10 pieces. What? Go. So 1978 was the year. Pretty good recreation on that castle. And I do not own that castle. Okay, now we're going to build one of my favorites, the old school space line. Classic space. Really hope we see more classic space. I think we're getting a new ship soon. Just a whole line, a whole theme of classic space would be really fun. Is this really the ship? It's looking larger than I anticipated. Oh, I love these translucent pieces of yellow brick. Lots of nostalgia in that brick. What are we building here? This looks nothing. Oh, I see it now, maybe. I think it's just going sideways. I did not expect this. I should have looked at the picture closer. We'll see if I'm doing this right. I feel like I'm building a Star Destroyer. Let's add some engines to the bag. Little red lights for some color. And we have our classic Lego spacecraft. Very reminiscent to, like, say, asteroids or something. Pew, 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 pew. And maybe a Star Destroyer. But the actual ship looks a lot different. This kind of recreation makes it look very triangular and pyramidish. But it's kind of a fun little recreation. I did not expect the build to go the way it went. So that was kind of a fun little micro build. And that was from the year 1979, if you can believe it. Okay, so here is a build I have no knowledge of. I don't think I have seen this one before. I'm going to have to go back into the history books to learn about this one because I do not remember this one. It's a cute little elephant with table build. From 1981, it's Fabuland. Or is that Fabuland? Fabulous Fabuland, probably. I'm guessing one of the first attempts at Duplo. The box picture screams Duplo, a little bit of a younger audience. So we're gonna try to build this little elephant dude. Adding on the trunk to our elephant. What a strange little dude. Anybody out there big fans of Fabuland? Fabuland? Know everything about it? Let me know in the comments. There's our cute little elephant guy. And we'll build a nice little table. I always like these table pieces. The squirrels quickly steal them as little booths for break time. Little umbrella on it. And just to show that I have one nearby, see I have this one nearby. It's from one of the like pizza building sets, I think, or something, one of the shop car sets. And I think we've got it, but we also have extra pieces. I think these must go to the spaceship. Where did I mess up on the spaceship? Okay, so that was an easy mix-up. They're right below the red lights. I knew there was something a little odd about that. Let's add those in. My ship wouldn't have been able to pew 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 without those. Those are the pewers to my ship. I can't believe I forgot those. Always nice when you get down to the end and you have extra pieces. It's frantic. What did I do? What did I do? These, I believe, are just extras. Got an extra eyeball for Fabuland there and extra red piece. So, back to our little elephant dude. Pretty cute. I think I've got my eyes going in different directions, so it's looking a little derpy looking. Kind of like Gonzo a little bit. It's got that Gonzo beak, but it is, alas, an elephant. Gonzo's not an elephant. And so there we have the 1981 Fabuland, and of course our spaceship and this beautiful castle build in bag 2. All three of these looking cool. I may have not built them at the time, but they are certainly etched into my brain as classics of Lego. And it appears the little Lego City Park squirrels have decided to take on the castle as their new home. They fit really well in there. Careful guys. Careful. Careful. They're pretty protective of their new home. Okay, now on over to bag 3 with some more fantastic classic builds. You can almost feel the themes changing with the color change here. We're moving more into pirated waters and adventurous times here. So these are going to be really great to see. We're now in the year 1989 with a Lego pirate ship theme. Look at the cannons. They're like the little bricks with the side studs. We had just recently played Build a Boat for Treasure over at the gaming channel, so I know not to sing any seaworthy chanties, as I am not very versed in the sea. This boat is huge. Avasti scallywags, get the deck a-building. I'm certainly glad they gave the grates a little bit extra size over some of the weird ones. Of course, you have to add a skull to your ship. Add some sails. So take a look at this ship. Almost feels like now this is the leader in scale for the builds of the Mini. The castle here, these two are looking so good together. I would say the ship just feels a little bit larger now. Obviously with the height of the boat and even the width, it is a little bit longer than your castle build. I don't know, squirrels, which one would you rather stay on? Looks like they're staying on the castle. They may not like to be out at sea. Well, that is a fun micro recreation of the classic pirate ships of 1989. Now we move on to the year 1998. A flip of the numbers. We are going to the adventure line. Who now remembers the adventure line? It's time to go on an adventure. This build also feeling fairly large. Not as large as the castle or the ship, but still feeling like it's taking up a pretty good amount of brick. I'm so excited that all these bags included are extra. I had no idea we'd have this many extra pieces. I did a quick calculation in my head and it felt like all these mini builds would take the 1,000 pieces, but I think I was way off. Obviously way off. More eyes. I gotta get these eyes in the right direction this time. Get the reflection off them so that they're kind of looking the same direction. It's still a little bit off. Round nose. Nobody shoot that nose off. Oh, and the most iconic piece of this one is the little obelisk tower. I still need to get the haunted house that is represented of this line. It would be so fun. There we go. Our classic adventures theme Sphinx build. This is fantastically done in micro form. I love the obelisk. I love the color choice they've gone with the Sphinx. I love the fact they included the scorpion. Oh, it is so perfect. It is so perfectly done. Okay, if you have guessed the 1998 LEGO Adventures build the Sphinx as one of the sets that Squirrel Stampede still owns, you would be correct. In 1998, I was given a Christmas present of this set, and it is still mostly complete. Ironically, I had this built for about the last decade on a shelf and just recently placed it into a bin as certain members of my family were possibly pillaging pieces, and I had to quickly rebuild for today. I had collected a few other of the Adventure Line sets in the past, and so they're a little bit mixed together in a bin still, including the Mighty Adventures blimp. I always had a great deal of fun with the Adventures Line set, so here's the Sphinx build. The car is missing its correct engine, but it's still kind of mostly there. And there's various elements of mystery with this set. Here's the professor. I think the professor has found the secret lever over here by which you pulleth, and the mummy is freed from his tomb. And then also there's several other places of treasure, scorpions, and other mysterious items. I think my palm trees are breaking. I've got several palm trees that are just snapping from their age, but still the Sphinx lives, and it's one of my most favorite sets. So it's pretty cool to have a classic set still operational from what we're looking at today. Pretty good miniaturization recreation of one of my most favorite classic builds. I suppose you can stick around, Mummy. That ends book 1 of instructions. Let's go on over to book 2 as we move on closer to today's world of Lego building. So where will be bag 4? So we are going to work on a horse carriage from the year 2000, and this is kind of an interesting period for Lego, kind of coming out of that bankruptcy stage of the late 90s. Almost bankruptcy stage. Star Wars was starting to come out, starting to really get strong, but then there were some strange sets. In fact, I don't even remember this line. This is the Bellvilla line? Probably maybe something sort of a precursor to Friends, or maybe Fantasy. Let's build this strange but awesome cart build up. Of course there's a frog. You gotta have a frog. Also feels pretty sizable to the ship and the castle. Let's add on a horse. And constructed our 2000 horse carriage. Oh, look at that, the horse is kind of like flying in the air. Oh no, the horse is upside down. Oh, sorry horse. Oh, okay, well this was a very odd line, especially the minifigures or the figures. Kind of something somewhat forgettable. By the way, where's Galadar? But it's an interesting inclusion into this classic build set. Sometimes you gotta celebrate the weird to make the cool stuff stand out. So there's a cool, interesting build of our horse carriage. Alright, next up, one of my most faves, 2001 Bionicle. I think we're building Tahoe here. Tahoe. We'll figure that out in a second. Kind of an interesting way they're going to go with this. Tahoe is going to be built with traditional brick instead of the alternate system. Or what do you call it? The other system? And kind of is very squarish and blockish. We'll see how this turns out as we build up here. I've built a red boot. Are we sure this is a Bionicle? A red boot. And some fire noodle arms. At least the scale is getting a little better than what I first thought. Okay, so maybe the Mixels were indeed added into this Lego Classic box. This is a ridiculous recreation of a Bionicle. What happened here? Why did they not just go with Bionicle pieces? That's really bizarre. Like, if you did not know from the box that this was a Bionicle, you would never think it would be a Bionicle. You would surely more so think of this as a Mixel with its eyes, the silly cartoony eyes, and just the noodly structure. Wow, what happened here? Not the best recreation in my opinion. Alright, if you guessed a Lego Classic build that Squirrel Stampede still owns, you guessed correctly, the 2001 Technic Bionicle Tahoe. These were a thrilling addition to the Lego line back in the day. I remember starting with the Throwbots, which I still have those too. And then Bionicle in these awesome containers. I so wish they would bring back this theme with the containers. When Bionicle was a little more simplistic, I think it was a little more fun. Let's see if I can get the graphic to still work on this container. You can kind of slide the graphic around and see the other Bionicle there, and their helmet, or their mask, I should say. And if you could, let's spin this way, actually, that way I won't unscrew the top. And you can see all the original. There's Tahoe, Gali, trying to remember the names. Onua, Liwu, Kopako was my favorite. I was taking an art history class at the time, and we were studying like Greek sculptures, and I thought Kopaka just reminded me exactly of a Greek sculpture with the shield and sword. It was so cool. So absolutely stunning, fun series. I think still constructed in here, maybe without head. So you can kind of see what a miss this recreation was, why they didn't just go with one of the smaller scale builds. They used to make all sorts of mini Bionicle at the time. Perhaps some of these pieces are just not as available as regular brick, or maybe they just wanted to keep the theme of this set as a brick set. I think they really should have switched it up with the alternate system builds. And so there's Tahu, and if you recall, the original line of Bionicle, pretty simple with a gear system in their back, and you can move an arm, the flame arm here, and it's actually a pretty strong gear system. You could really smash characters down with it. I think it was Liwa, the green one with the axe. You could chop wood with that axe. It was such a strong strike feature. But what a cool thing to bring back Bionicle and at least give them a nod in this Classics pack. I'm glad they've given him a nod. Mixels didn't get a nod, but Bionicle certainly needed this. Recapture some of that imagination fun of those days. And I think those Bionicle days certainly gave LEGO a boost for a new generation of builders, even though it was a different system of build. So fun with Tahu there, just a little bit odd in what he looks like. Okay, getting closer to our world. We're now into the year 2005 with Bag 5. And again, as we go through time, you can kind of see the piece color represent the theme of the years. This definitely feels more city, it feels a little more modern. And we're starting to see some more unique, newer pieces like this weird cool fence piece, railing piece, cool propellers, and of course, ninja swords. So we're gonna go with the police station build next. One set I do not have too many of. Oh well, no wait, just recently we did get a police station to get the squirrels, but they were not as cool as some of the police stations from 2005 to around 2010. They made some really nice stations. They really included more pieces, and now we're seeing kind of more basic builds, unfortunately, probably due to cost and all that. So kind of bummer there, but we'll build what we have here. Can't forget the light up top, and there's a little police helicopter. No way, I didn't see that at first. Why didn't I see the helicopter until now? There we go. That is a cute little helicopter up top. And we've constructed our police station, which is actually pretty large. I keep undersizing these in my head, but pretty good little mini builds of each set. This is a nice little police station, 2005 recreation. I believe that year had a very fantastically large scale station. They certainly don't build them like they used to for a general release set. Maybe some of the fancier sets now would recreate a very awesome police station, but there you go. I love the jail there on the bottom there. That's a nice little touch. And you can almost place a minifigure inside there. There's a little bit of room, right? So fun recreation from 2005. So now we jump to 2010 with a motorized excavator. Well, unmotorized, but a Technic motorized build. Interesting that they went with 2010 Technic. Kind of funny that they didn't explore a Technic build from when Technic was first introduced into LEGO. I had a few good Technic builds from that era too, and I still do. They're just not as well preserved as some of my adventure build sets. But we're using a 2010 Technic build, and I would say that's about the time when Technic really started getting super Technic, if that's a way of saying it. You started seeing some ultra-sized Technic set builds, especially in the last 10 years, just really pushing the envelope of creativity and engineering. And add a cute little shovel piece. And finished. So kind of like the Bionicle, not the best recreation of a set build. Yeah, there's some Technic pieces in here. If they could have only included one gear, right? Had they been able to install one gear to move this lever arm of our excavator, I think it would have been perfect. But, you know, we've got a moving arm. We can kind of adjust it here and there and scoop some bricks. So it's almost there. A little bit smaller than the police station and the duck and the castle. But it's still nice to see this represented in this set. Now we just have to back this one up into position so we can go on to our next build. And this one is a big one for LEGO. 2013 LEGO Ninjago. We've got Lloyd's Golden Legendary Dragon. What a fun build to throw in. You gotta have Ninjago, long-standing LEGO series. Add a little bit of gold to it. And Lloyd's golden dragon constructed. Did I get those wings right? I am not sure which way these swords go. The box, I think, actually even has them this direction with the flat part of the blade going out and the wings running in like so. Although this one, maybe I have them completely vertical. I'm not sure. Let's go. I think I kind of like them going swooshy this way. So back around. I think I've got our wings now. So that is a fun little piece. We've got articulation, although somewhat limited by some pieces that are just falling off. What an interesting looking mini dragon of gold there. In green, little dragon feet. Again with the Mixel eyes. So maybe the Mixels are here in spirit with their eyes. But a fun little dragon. And this would be the 0.5 in the builds that I own. I do not own the original, but this was a legacy version of the Golden Dragon. Also, I noticed I got ahead of myself. I was so excited. I forgot the little light that goes above the prison section, the little jail section of the police department. So obvious. I imagine everyone was like, "You forgot a piece. Quick, put it back." So I got the piece in. We're good. So now we can go on to another build. We're going to go to the Friends Land. A LEGO Friends Zone with bag 6 here. And some dots. I think dots are in here too. So this is a 2017 build of the Friendship House. And there is the Friendship House being attacked by the enemies. Oh no! Wait, that's the Golden Dragon. It's not an enemy. Again, a pretty tall structure, about the same height as the police station, if not just a little bit taller. You can certainly build a little city now with all these different buildings we've constructed. Good fun scale height to this micro building. I like the transparent building windows, kind of plain on the backside there. But still an integral part to the LEGO's Classics collection throughout the years. One more set to build and it's gonna be dots. LEGO dots are here. Again, they kind of skipped over Star Wars or Marvel or Batman or all the great themes that we've seen throughout the years, but I believe that is for licensing. Much easier to just pick stuff that is internal than external. So let's build ourselves a little pineapple cup and enjoy the construction known as dots with all the teeny tiny pieces. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Well, there is our dots pineapple. Was this a pencil holder? I can't remember what this was exactly. Yes, it was a pencil holder or a box to hold different items. So fun little thing, and even behind here you can kind of sneak something, I suppose. Pretty cool little finish to the series of 90 years. And so most shockingly, all these extra bags of pieces included. We've got golden, yellow, browns. There's some wheels in there and hubs. Some translucent yellow pieces, so incredible pieces here. Over to the blue aqua, some plant pieces. All these extra pieces, blue beams. I suppose if you're left out of the mixels like I was, you could build your own mixel now with all these extra pieces. There's reds and purples, little fins and triangles. This is a really nice set. Really great opportunity to get something classic and then just a bunch of pieces. There's our Sandy pieces and some white pieces, brick pieces in there, clear window pieces, windows, more base plates, and my favorite right here, bunch of gray pieces. These are always helpful to have a few of these in stock. Well, that is an impressive collection of LEGO Classics 90 years of play. A little bit of everything thrown in, and a little bit extra also thrown in. I think my favorite has to be the Sphinx and the tiny castle build. If you liked today's video, please give us a squike, a squirrelive, and a squamment. What was your favorite theme of your from the past years ago, or modern and new? Thank you so much for watching. That's what I have to say about that.